Is this like some symbolic, like metaphorical car?
No, he's for real rolling up.
I don't like it. In fact, I hate it. Hey, I'm Blake.
And I'm Dave.
And this is First Prize Films, the podcast where we each select a genre-specific movie separated by at least a decade and pit them against each other to find out which film wins the coveted title of First Prize. Dave, if you could tell us what that means.
Absolutely nothing. So today we're getting into action films, and in this specific case, action films centered on transportation?
Vehicles.
Whatever. I made Blake watch the most recent Fast and Furious film, F9, a movie about cars, brotherhood, and not a single believable stunt.
I made Dave watch the 1994 action blockbuster Speed.
It's a movie about a bus.
It's an action movie. About a bus.
About a bus.
For me, this was a weird viewing experience. I haven't seen Speed since I was a little kid. I love this movie. The first Fast and Furious movies were big in my house too, but I didn't get very far in them.
Me and my oldest friend grew up on them. Mm-hmm. We are both car guys, so these movies shaped me as such. Well, the first one did.
It's popular. It's super popular.
It was like a cult movie. It was one of those movies that nobody expected to do well, and it blew the fuck up for no reason. I've always loved them. I really did, and I tried.
You tried to love this one?
I tried so hard to love this one.
I can see it in your face.
I can't.
Yeah.
As much as I loved all of the rest of them, this one I just went, oh, come on.
This whole movie, for me, was a what the fuck is going on moment.
Yeah.
From almost start to finish, because the last one I saw 1 through 3, and then I saw 6.
Right.
Not on purpose. But but I did see it, and so fast forwarding from 6 to then seeing 9 here was it was kind of like an out of body experience. I have no fucking idea what happened in it. We're gonna get into it. Do you want to get into this, Dave? Because
let's do it.
You chose F9, I chose Speed. So Dave, you have the honor. Take us through F9.
Movie 1, F9, 2021.
All right, point of no return. Give me the synopsis for F9, Dave.
Yeah, okay. So
Dominic Toretto and his family of car bandits are forced to fight for their family while also fighting against their other family and also physics.
So the movie opens with these old school like NASCAR like looking race cars. In true Fast and Furious style, accident. Right away.
And
then we find out it's in 1989. And the driver of the car that we're seeing is meant to be Dominic Toretto's dad. He pulls into the pits, and then they start talking about the race, which made me go, I wasn't aware pit stops lasted 3.5 minutes. It takes not even 30 seconds for a pit stop.
I don't know who any of these people are. I have in my notes, dad, ... family?
Yes. Anyway, so the race restarts, but not before some cheesy-ass line that's meant to be inspirational. He's like,
it's not about being the stronger man, dog. It's about being the bigger one.
The physically bigger man, generally stronger.
Generally stronger. So now we're seeing the drama that we heard about in the first Fast and Furious. I don't know if you remember where he talks about, how he went to Lompoc for beating a man half to death. Yeah.
Because he put his dad into the wall. Now we're seeing that moment. So this is a 20-year-old callback.
Timely. Very timely.
So Dom's dad dies in a very fiery car wreck in the middle of like the last lap. And then all of a sudden we're back to present day. Dom is fixing a tractor.
Well, that's what I have. Smash cut to Farm Dom.
Farm Dom. So Farm Dom is fixing a tractor with his son. Cars approach, and Dom freaks out and now has shotguns, and his son's hiding because he forgot he has family.
Yeah, who shows up here?
So it's Roman, Tej, and Ramsey. They're here to give us the rundown.
It's an SOS transmission from Mr. Nobody's plane.
Sent it only to us.
Why just us?
He caught Cypher, but there was a mid-air attack and she was extracted.
If Mr. Nobody survived, we need to find him.
So to this mission, Dom is like,
We're not on call anymore.
Dom, this is Cypher, the woman who killed the mother of your child.
Things change.
But later, Letty's like, yo, I don't like Farm Dom, and I'm going to go risk my life.
Yeah, no, it's
And
fair.
so she fucking bounces, and Farm Dom eventually is like, well, I guess I'll look at the video.
Dom on his iPad does the enhance.
Yeah. And now he sees something and clearly decides then and there he's in. But he needs a sitter first. So now at this point, the team's getting on a military-grade C-130. You're street racers. So at the last second, Dom shows up in his badass Challenger. It cuts to them driving through this like hills of a foreign country. And they're in a Charger, a motorcycle, a Jeep, and some like military-grade like armored vehicle, which they just have access to.
Yeah, they just are there, and they just have these things.
So they start searching the crash site because their boss's plane went down. Ramsey's like,
Right now, we have a 10-minute window between patrols. We do not want to cross paths with the military here.
I'm pretty sure there's no windows between patrols in any military situation. So Dom is using the least efficient weapon for this, a fucking shotgun.
Like it's Terminator or something.
So among the wreckage, they find this device that we don't know what it is, but it's clearly important, and it's obviously the focus of the rest of the movie. Mm-hmm. As soon as they do, they start getting shot at, because apparently in this world, 10 minutes means 30 seconds.
Yeah, they just got to get to it, man. They got to get to that action, Dave. I'm just saying.
Immediately, we start seeing the like, okay, to this movie, right? Because the team starts to run from bullets.
Oh my God, I know.
And they're somehow avoiding every single bullet.
I was genuinely enjoying myself. Things are just exploding, and these people are attacking, and I have no idea who they are. I have no idea what they want. I have no idea what the stakes are for any of this. It's just things happening. You know, our genre this week is action.
You're right.
This is an action film. We're getting action. So I'm like, okay, mission accomplished on the very basics of the genre. There is action here.
But also, fuck this movie, okay?
Go!
So the team's running, and they're being fired at by stormtroopers, apparently.
Yes. Yes.
Roman gets separated from the team and then is surrounded by said stormtroopers. And somehow they don't hit him at all.
Not once.
Not one time.
The man is unscathed.
Unscathed. Whatever.
Whatever.
So as if this isn't enough, now they're dealing with landmines.
Oh, that's
landmines.
Right. Landmines.
And so they ask, like, how fast do we have to be going to be able to run these over and not blow up? And then Tej Parker does some quick math in his head, and he's like, 80 miles an hour. And Roman's like,
I can't! My speedometer only goes up to 70. What do? You put your foot to that floor and you pray!
more drama.
And of course it's Roman.
And of course it's Roman, because he is the comedic relief. He's the goofy one. And I think he's my favorite because of that.
I got a kick out of it. I got some laughs. It was fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So anyway, so cars blowing up around them, but they're somehow avoiding all of them. But then suddenly,
John Cena!
Oh my God, this fucking reveal, Dave. Oh my God. So I love how they have him facing away, but his cross necklace
flipped over his shoulder. For what purpose?
For us, Dave. For us. For our purpose.
It's like,
as
okay,
an
but I
audience.
just can't imagine. He's like, I can't see out of these goddamn binoculars. Okay, that's better.
Is John Cena in these other ones?
No.
This is his first appearance
First
in
one.
all these. Okay.
Fast forward just a little bit. Tej and Ramsey are in one vehicle and Roman's in another. Roman runs over a landmine. It blows up the back of his vehicle, and it's now on fire. And then he hits another landmine, I believe, and it flings his truck vertically in between a fucking rock formation. And now he has to get out of his hanging vehicle that's slowly dropping Jurassic Park style onto, as if this wasn't enough fucking drama already, another landmine.
It's like one thing after another that just
Exactly-
keeps piling
yeah,
on
exactly.
ridiculousness.
Exactly.
And then what happens?
So he gets out and falls, and his face gets like 2 inches from the landmine trigger. And then he gets up and starts running because his vehicle is now falling. Again, Jurassic Park style.
Yes.
And it hits the landmine, and it fucking lands on him. I was laughing so fucking hard at that moment.
They blow through moments that, if you give a second to breathe, could be impactful. They cut back to Tej, and he's like, wah, wah. And like a literal second later, Roman pops up, and guess what? He's fine.
But in a super meta moment, the first of many in
I
this
fucking
movie.
hate these meta moments, by the way. Go on.
Yeah, because they could have been great.
They could have.
They weren't. Tej goes,
How in the hell are you not dead?
yeah, we're all asking the same fucking question, Tej.
I have many issues with this. They don't really do anything with them. They're just trying to excuse themselves from the audience for being ridiculous.
See, we know it's ridiculous.
I hate that so much.
The sooner we get out of here, the better.
Letty gets thrown off of her motorcycle, and Dom, in another physics-defying moment, does something with his car, so she lands on the hood.
He caught her with his car.
Caught her. So then she goes, the device! And John Cena pulls up, snatches it up, smiles, takes off. And now, the hunted become the hunters.
Oh, yes.
So they start chasing him. They're also approaching their way out, which is a fucking rope bridge.
This is probably my favorite part of the movie.
So because Dom and Letty are chasing after John Cena, who's named Jacob, so I'll refer to him from now on, I guess. So Dom and Letty are chasing Jacob. Roman, Tej, and Ramsey are in the same vehicle now, rapidly approaching this rope bridge.
Oh, hell no.
Are we supposed to drive across that?
But I said it looks like a bridge.
Now there's fucking things shooting missiles.
Yeah, we hit that 20-minute action movie mark. We got to bring in the missiles.
So they shoot onto the bridge as a missile hits it. And the bridge starts disintegrating as they are driving across it. And Roman the whole time is just,
To be perfectly clear, this car outran a falling bridge.
it outran gravity.
Outran gravity.
There is so much more. So at this point, Dom and his brother, Jacob, are battling it out towards a cliff, and then Jacob hits the nos, right? And shoots off the fucking cliff. And then just yeets himself off the cliff. Okay? And then fucking Magnet Jet comes swooping in, fucking picks up the Mustang that Jacob's in and just flies off. Right? So now, Dom and Letty, what do we do now? So Dom just yeets his fucking vehicle off the cliff, and it hooks onto this cable.
Where's the bridge? Dom.
Pendulums across the thing, as if his wheel wouldn't just shoot the fuck off, and bye-bye Dom.
We're 25 minutes in. We got Cena. We got cars racing. We got airplanes flying, helicopters shooting, cars out driving falling bridges, cars rope swinging across canyons. We got Cena just fucking driving off a cliff with zero resolution. I don't know why any of this is happening, but I'm on board.
So Letty at this point reveals to the team that their new enemy is Dom's brother.
Jacob is, or was, Dom's brother.
You got a brother who also happens to be some kind of super spy with his own private army, who drives literally like a bat out of hell, who pre-planned an aerial jump and landed at the bottom of an airplane? Who does that?
But now we're doing another flashback to 89 to show the brother's backstory. Okay, I support that.
For me, Dom's backstory, while incredibly cliche, is still, I think, the most compelling part of this movie so far, in terms of like emotional connection and like you caring about the characters.
Basically, Dom's brother starts shit with the guy who killed their dad. So now we see the moment that they alluded to that put him in Lompoc. We don't see the wrench beating, but we see that moment where basically we find out his brother was going to do it. Now we're back in the present again. Cypher is the bad guy from the last movie.
Yeah.
She's played by
Charlize
Theron. And Jacob has a German friend. They have this massive team, and now we're starting to learn the evil plan.
Say you get what you're after. A weapon so dangerous it shouldn't exist for another half-century. What would you do with it? Launch some global attack? Sell it to the highest bidder? Or maybe you see yourself as a necessary shock to the system.
That's when I really realized what this movie was.
Right.
This is a superhero movie.
Oh my God, you're right.
This is the superhero movie setup. Two brothers. One's evil, one's good, and they're fighting. But there's a device they have to get after that'll control, whether the world survives or not.
Oh, God.
Now that we've established
we've established that, they go to Mr. Nobody's secret hideout. Now we have the most meta scene I have ever watched in my entire life.
We've now been on insane missions around the world, doing what most would say is damn near impossible. And I ain't got one single scar to show for it. We are not normal.
Are you two maybe suggesting that we're what? Invincible?
Maybe.
And then Tej is like,
Or maybe you just a dumbass.
and that's how they end the scene. That's
Yeah.
not
They do nothing with it.
not a thing.
Nothing. They don't subvert that. They just say, hey, we're getting away with this stuff.
It ends up being a middle finger to us.
Yeah, it is. It's a total fuck you.
So now Mia shows up, and oh my god, who is watching the children? I mean, Brian is, of course.
Wait, is he still alive in this?
In the movies, he's alive, yes.
So everybody dumps their kids off with him?
Pretty much.
Like, we're going to go save the world. You watch the kids.
So now we find out that this thing is called Project Ares.
Ares was designed to override and assimilate anything that runs on code. You take Ares and upload it to a satellite, it'll spread like a virus. Then it'll be a matter of time before someone can control any weapon system and just point it wherever they want.
If Jacob gets his hands on this, he'll be the god of damn near everything.
Roman and Tej are going to Germany, and Letty and Mia are going to go find out about Han. They decide to go to Tokyo. Now we're in the past again. Dom figures out that his brother killed their dad, and it wouldn't be a Fast and Furious movie without the good old-fashioned street race that takes way longer than reality. But this one is to make Jacob leave and never come back. Now we're seeing why they hate each other.
Like, we got it. We already got this stuff.
Yes,
we know
didn't
this.
need this.
We don't need any of this.
Because now we're back in Germany with the Tokyo Drift characters building a rocket Fiero.
I did recognize these guys.
So now we're back in Tokyo. The second time in 2 transitions to Tokyo where Letty says Tokyo's a dead end.
Yeah, oh my
She
god.
said it twice.
Yes, no, I have that too in my notes where she keeps saying this, and I'm like, okay, like, we know this isn't because you keep cutting back to it, so stop saying stuff like this.
Now they find Han's hideout.
And they look up and they happen to see a Mexican flag in a window. Wow, this must be Han's place, I guess. I'm fine with convenient things happening to keep a plot moving, but they have a convenient thing happen and they still take forever to get there.
So now we're in London where Dom meets up with Deckard Shaw, who's not in this movie, by the way, his mother, played by Helen Mirren.
I have no fucking idea what Helen Mirren was doing in this movie. And she drives like a fucking boss, which is cool, funny, I guess, but like also she never shows up again.
So now we're at a gigantic building with a gajillion women.
Yes.
And so he's getting out of the car, but not without some cheesy one-liner about danger.
You know, nothing's more powerful than the love of family. But you turn that into anger and resentment, nothing's more dangerous.
Dom confronts Jacob inside this big-ass house. He gets arrested by Interpol. Except Interpol is actually Cardi B and her friends.
People want to be in movies, make cameos. I'm fine with that. But give them like an acting lesson because she gives the worst line reading I've heard in a while.
You might need this. Your boy Jacob biometrics are encoded to this gun. You have no trouble tracking him now.
This is the point of the film where I'm like exhausted.
Yes.
I'm literally sitting in, I'm like, okay, it was funny at first and now I just want it to end.
Right. So now we're back in Tokyo. Again. Letty and Mia get attacked by assassins.
Sure.
Why? But not before some random woman pops out to literally warn them about said assassins. Don't worry though, because as all things, this comes back in the dumbest way possible.
Letty, Mia. Down, now.
So after a way too long battle between these assassins and Mia and Letty and this random woman, suddenly 2 guys are on the street with Letty about to shoot her and they both fall dead. And who saves them? Han. Han is back from the dead, motherfucker.
Why?
Because Fast and Furious, that's why.
So for the uninitiated, Han is a character who died in the 3rd movie, but appears in the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th movies, not in the 8th movie, but is back again, resurrected for F9.
Right. So basically we watch the bad guys steal the other half of Project Ares. So while they're figuring out how to stop them, electronics everywhere just start freaking out.
We have a problem. Cameras are going down all around us, and my equipment is freaking out.
They find that the bad guys have a truck full of electromagnets that are scrambling the frequencies of everything in the area.
Yeah.
So they beat up the bad guys and take control of the truck.
Of course.
Ramsey is just driving around this electromagnetic truck with Roman and Tej fighting goons in the back. And at the same time, they cut between the two, Dom and Jacob fist fight.
Dom and Jacob meet and they tackle midair through a window. And then they start using each other's bodies as demolition tools. They start breaking down fucking walls with each other's bodies and heads. They're on trucks, and up until this point, this is a Fast and Furious movie, but it feels more like slow and miserable. And now we're picking up the speed here a little bit.
And it looks like Dom has Jacob cornered. And then he gets into a car and he's getting away. Except for, psych, it's the good guys. And they suck his car through a building with their electromagnet truck. Get the entire fuck out of here.
My favorite thing about the electromagnetic truck is they're driving down the street. You know, people's like shit is like flying out of their pockets and stuff.
Right.
Think of all the people who died who had like
pacemakers
and like medical, like surgical screws and shit. People's legs are falling off. This is a fucking horror movie, dude.
Oh,
like,
fuck.
Lots of people died that day for sure.
So now we're at the bad guy compound, right? Yeah. And we have another super meta moment where Charlize Theron's character Cypher is like,
I was thinking, if this was a movie, this would be the moment where the villain has an unexpected setback, overcompensates without thinking it through, and gets crushed by the good guys.
Don't you do that.
Don't you do
It's
that.
dumb, and it draws attention to how stupid this whole thing is, and you're blowing it.
So now we're back at the good guy's secret hideout. There's so many hideouts. Fuck.
So many fucking
Okay,
hideouts.
so now we're back at the good guy's secret hideout, where they've captured Jacob, and Dom has this super cheesy line about how you can't outrun the past.
But you can outrun falling bridges.
But you can outrun falling bridges.
So what now, Dom?
No one outruns their past, and yours just caught up to you.
So remember that random woman from before that I said would come back in the dumbest way possible?
Oh no.
Well, here it is. Turns out she's the key to Project Ares.
Oh no.
She's the key because her parents invented this Project Ares and they encoded it with their DNA, which they share with her, which wouldn't be an exact match.
We live in a post-forensic files world.
Yes. So, the bad guys are here.
I ran missions with Mr. Nobody out of this place for years.
So basically now we find out that their dad was deep in debt and was trying to throw that race that killed him, and that Jacob only killed him on accident.
You want the truth? Dad died because he was trying to throw that race. We were in deep debt. He had to ask me for help. How was I supposed to know that car was gonna blow?
Good son would have said no, and a real brother would have come to me.
So Dom and Jacob's beef has just been a misunderstanding.
Yep. The whole time.
So they decided to trek across the world fighting each other and destroying billions of dollars worth
Probably
of property
trillions.
instead of talking about their feelings.
Yeah. So now this made me so mad. Jacob and his main German buddy are leaving. And as they're leaving, you see this moment. Oh, they're going to use the electromagnets.
Respect for the magnets coming back in the bunker. You set something up and now you're using it to pay something off. It's not perfect, but I'm trying to be fair here.
So now they use electromagnets to start fighting these bad guys, right? So the good guys get away, but not without Dom trying to sacrifice himself to make sure that the rest of them get away, right?
Dom fights 100 fucking guys in a silo as it collapses. At this point, everything's so bonkers, I don't care what happens.
Yes,
exactly. I'm not even worried because just like with Roman earlier, just like with fucking everybody earlier, we know he's not going to die.
Right.
I feel zero tension.
But also, how the hell did he survive that fall? You know what? Fuck it.
I stopped taking notes almost after this.
Right. So Letty saves Dom, diving into the water, somehow also surviving that distance. And the crew now is back in the secret hideout they were just in, where the bad guys were. Like, the bad guys are like, okay, we give up. Sorry. Like, fucking, what? So now we're figuring out that our boys are going to space.
Oh my God.
To space.
What we gonna do? Hijack a space shuttle? Put rockets on our backs? That's exactly what we're gonna do.
Dave. Literally, when we were talking about this, you're like, my choice for this episode is F9. And I think your words were, you will not believe this. And I go, what do? Go to space? I could have shit my pants.
So our bad guys are launching a satellite to space so they can uplink Project Ares into it and take control of all the world's technology and weapons and whatever. But our good guys are launching a fucking Pontiac Fiero with rockets strapped to it. Our Rocket Fiero. To interrupt the uplink of Project Ares. The key /girl/woman activates this Ares thing.
Yes.
Roman and Tej are in scuba suits inside of said Rocket Fiero, right? And we get to the point where we hear the line that broke me.
As long as we obey the laws of physics, then we'll be fine, okay?
Can we fucking talk about this though for a second? Because what?
Listen, there hasn't been a single law of physics
Not one.
followed.
I mean,
Not one. It was another fuck you to the audience.
they keep drawing attention to these things and then just doing them anyway.
Right. Before we go any further, I have a little fun fact about our Rocket Fiero.
If I'm disappointed in this, I quit this show.
They almost took the Fiero to space for real with a weather balloon.
No.
They were only told no because of the budget.
Oh no.
That's a for real thing.
No.
Yeah. They almost strapped a Fiero to a weather balloon and took it into space.
Oh, I hate it so much. I guess I would have given him props though for actually putting it
That
into
would have been
space.
really cool.
I'm like talking shit on it, but like
That
now I'm
would've
thinking
been
about it.
super
It would be kind of cool. I've come around on it.
Okay, so the Rocket Fiero takes off, and somehow, with no heat shielding at all,
In scuba suits.
where's the oxygen tanks?
They don't need them.
They just turn on the AC. Fucking Christ. So the rest of the crew is going to attack the bad guy convoy with their electromagnets. Jacob sees Dom and his crew, and the fight is on.
Oh my god, okay. They're getting a lot of mileage out of those fucking electromagnets as Dom uses them strapped to a 70s muscle car.
As Letty is getting rear-ended and then sucking a car onto her trunk with her electromagnet, she says,
All right, Han, Mia, you're up.
and enter the Supra. Fuck yes. Han gets in the fucking convoy. Now he's fighting, and I have and Han with the badass kill of the entire movie when he pulls the pin of like some grenade and just drops it, and the electromagnet sucks it to this guy. He's like, "You'll kill us all," and he's like,
Not all of us.
and opens the fucking back door, and dude's parachute opens up, and he just.
I did laugh. I did get a laugh out of that.
Badass kill of the
It was
day.
great. It was great. I enjoyed it.
But now, the bad guys are turning on Jacob. They're actually teaming up with Cypher. Who saw that one coming? Only everyone.
They essentially told us this.
Right. So Dom sees his brother being double-crossed and thrown off of the convoy and saves him again. He jets the car over and catches the falling human again. They have this moment where they don't really speak. It's a look that they share. And they let Jacob go. They're trying to stop the convoy now by throwing cars in front of it with their electromagnets, and it's not working. So Jacob is coming back to help because Letty can't. She gets stuck. She can't help Dom.
Dom, I can't get to you.
But I can.
Why am I tearing up? Damn allergies.
I love that this movie made you emotional.
Just that moment. Now we're back in space.
Talk to me, what's going on? The pressure of the launch, it must have jammed the cables to the power source. Damn it, how did I not think of that?
So now they decide to kamikaze the satellite.
Yeah.
And then Roman realizes in this moment,
We're not invincible. We've probably just been lucky this whole time.
This is their sacrifice
this is their
speech.
sacrifice speech.
This might be it, but you know what? If we're gonna go out, let's go out on top of the world.
And I was like, all right.
Okay, I'm glad you enjoyed that, but I was like, no, I hate this. Nobody's gonna get hurt, and nobody's gonna die.
Yeah.
And any trouble that anybody's in is gonna be resolved almost immediately. So I felt zero tension, and I'm like, this sucks. Just get it over with so this movie can end, please.
Right, so then they kill the satellite. Yay! Except for not really, because now we have Dom stuck on a runaway convoy headed for another cliff.
I was really worried about him, too.
And they take out a building as they go, which
Because fuck those people.
But as they're about to save the day and make everything okay, here comes Cypher to ruin the day. But Dom somehow manages to launch the convoy at her jet.
While jumping out.
While he jumps out at the last second with a superhero landing. But Cypher was in a drone the whole time.
Ha-ha!
Ha-ha! Gotcha! Everything is done. They won. Yeah. And now we have a moment between Dom and Jacob.
There's gonna be a lot of people coming after you, Jake.
Yeah. This is the world I chose, Dom.
Someone once gave me a 10-second car as a second chance. I owe you that, little brother.
Basically, he's doing a callback to what Brian does in the first movie. He gives him the 10-second car to let him get away. And Roman and Tej are just floating through space.
The ISS just happens upon them.
Of course they did.
We knew they were going to be fine.
Right, exactly. But here's the thing. Now we're back at the original Fast and Furious house, being rebuilt after being blown up in a previous movie. I don't know if you caught that.
I saw it as being rebuilt, and I just was like, at this point, I'm like, I don't care.
And now the entire crew, across all the movies, is having a cookout.
And a Corona.
And a Corona, of course. Because it's not Fast and Furious.
Hold on. It's still an empty chair.
He's on the way.
And suddenly, an engine rings out, and a blue Skyline comes ripping into the driveway, which is obviously Brian. So with that, the credits roll, the movie is over, we are out of our misery.
Just when you thought.
And then there was obviously some post-credit stuff.
I did think it was funny that Jason Statham's character was punching the bag with there's like a person in it. It made me a little less miserable, but I went immediately to bed.
Yeah, I think I did too. I was like, nope, fuck this, I'm going to bed. So that was F9.
Yeah, that was the beginning of the end of my life.
Movie 2, Speed, 1994.
All right, Blake, let's hear what you got for the synopsis of Speed.
Okay, here's what I got.
In the dystopian past where buses are literally ticking time bombs, one man, Jack must save a bus full of people from a madman with the help of 90s technology and his friend Harry, all while avoiding obstacles such as other vehicles, incomplete city infrastructure, and poor fuel economy.
This is a fun one. Directed by Jan de Bont. His first directing role, he was a cinematographer. Graham Yost wrote this, but in an uncredited role was Joss Whedon wrote part of this film.
No way.
Yeah, pretty much rewrote all the dialogue that we hear in this movie. So we open to hilarious 90s action titles.
Too long. It lasts too long. I'm not going to lie to you.
Way too long. I called the font overzealous action font. So we get people getting in an elevator, which, unbeknownst to them, is rigged with explosives by our villain. We don't know his name yet, but he's played by the lovely Dennis Hopper. You can tell he loves this role.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He's like really leaning into it.
This area's restricted.
Yeah, I know. They called me down here. Some of this wiring got screwed up.
I'm gonna have to see a work order.
Nothing personal.
Dennis Hopper blows a couple cables and it drops the elevator. He demands $3.7 million, very specific amount. So enter our heroes in a cop car that actually catches air on the streets of Los Angeles.
I had a note about that too.
So we get to meet our heroes, Jack and Harry, played by Keanu Reeves and Jeff Daniels.
This is an express elevator, gentlemen. The only way in or out is through access panels.
So Harry volunteers to examine the device.
Yeah, right. Fine. The two of you check it out.
Jack is the cop who likes to take the risks to get the job done, and Harry's the more by-the-book cop, but he always supports his buddy, Jack.
Oh, yeah, totally.
They find a very convenient crane on the top of the building.
The most convenient.
The most convenient crane, and they go down, they hook the crane to the elevator to keep it stable while they're trying to get people out.
Right.
Our heroes save the people just before the elevator falls to the ground floor, but in a moment of realization, after he saves everybody, Jack decides the bomber is still in the building.
He knew we were up to something. He's close by.
What about the freight elevators?
So this movie's off to a big start. It's off to a big action start. Mm-hmm. They meet up with him, and our villain takes Harry hostage. And in a previous scene, they set up this whole thing where Jack is like, oh yeah, if there's a hostage situation, you shoot the hostage.
All right, pop quiz. Gunman with one hostage. He's using her for cover. He's almost to a plane. You're 100 feet away. Jack.
Shoot the hostage.
What?
Take her out of the equation.
You're deeply nuts, you know that?
So in this moment now, almost 5 minutes after they have this conversation, they're in a hostage situation. And Harry is being taken hostage by Dennis Hopper, and...
Shoot the hostage.
So, which, I have some thoughts. You expect me to believe that fucking bomber didn't hear him say that?
They're head-to-head, right? They're
literally head-to-head.
Anyway, Jack shoots Harry. Shoots him in the knee.
Yeah.
Sends him down. Dennis Hopper has to bail. He runs out the door, sets off another small bomb.
They think he blew himself up.
So Jack and Harry earn medals for their bravery, and we end up at the bar where we get our out-of-context quote of the episode.
I'm gonna go home, have some sex.
Fucking beautiful line.
Beautiful line. The first 26 minutes of this film happen very quickly.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So an undetermined amount of time later, it might be the next day, a couple days after, it doesn't matter, Jack walks into his local coffee shop. He knows everybody. People have seen him on TV. He's like the local hero. He's getting all his love, and boom, a bus explodes outside.
Right.
So Jack runs out, being the cop he is, runs towards the exploded bus. Over the explosion, he hears a payphone ringing.
No, listen. Even if he hears a fucking payphone, is gonna go, yeah, that's probably for me.
His cop gut feeling is right, because it is for him.
Of course it is.
And guess who it fucking is, Dave?
What do you think, Jack? 2 years I spent setting up that elevator job, but I got your attention now, didn't I, Jack?
Why didn't you just come after me?
This is about money due me, $3.7 million.
He's gonna get his goddamn money.
And not a penny less.
Not a penny less. This kicks off the plot.
There's a bomb on a bus. Once the bus goes 50 miles an hour, the bomb is armed. If it drops below 50, it blows up. What do?
I'd want to know what bus it was.
You think I'm gonna tell you that?
Not even 30 seconds later, he's like, it's bus number 752. What do you... Hang on.
Not only does he give him the bus number, he tells him where the bus currently is.
Right, which is, by definition, making it easy for him.
Incredibly easy. Jack takes off in his white Bronco after this bus. So
he OJs it after this bus.
That's exactly where I was fucking going with this. I had to call my mom because I couldn't talk to you about it because we're talking about it now. I had to call my fucking mom. This film was released 1 week before O.J. Simpson led Los Angeles police on a chase in a white Bronco after being suspected of the murder of his wife. 1 week.
O.J. saw Speed and was like, I'm gonna do that.
He was there on opening night.
I'm gonna do that when they get.
He was like, that's how I do this. He did it. Also, another...
He totally did it.
He totally did it. So, meanwhile, once Jack kind of gets the heads up and he takes off in his Bronco, Annie, played by the lovely Sandra Bullock early in her career, boards a bus. She sits in front of an annoying tourist played by Alan Ruck, best known as Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He's great in this.
Yeah,
he's wonderful in this. I love him.
First time in LA. No, I'm sightseeing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I hate to use the word tourist, but it's not like I can hide it.
Now Jack is racing down the highway in his white Bronco, chasing after the bus, trying to stop it before it hits 50, and they hit a traffic jam. He hops out, he's banging on the bus window, they refuse to let him in, they look at him like he's a crazy person because he's acting like a crazy person. He's fitting in very well in Los Angeles.
Man sure has a hard on for this bus.
You made it that far in your own car? Mm-hmm. Now you're just like, fuck it, I need a new one.
He knew it was coming for the legacy of white Broncos.
Now there's just a white Bronco in the middle of the highway for the rest of this movie.
Legend has it.
Legend has
still
it.
Hear the
it's
cries.
Still there. 27 years later.
So Jack hijacks a man on the highway who is hilarious.
Get out of the car! Again, this is my car. I own this car. It's not stolen. It is now. Move over.
It's great. And this guy is hilarious. And so Jack just abuses this poor man.
Okay. Just slow down just a bit, all right?
Now Jack is chasing down the bus in a stolen car, trying to alert the people on the bus that there's a bomb. They're not believing him, so they write on a piece of paper, "Bomb on bus," and we see in a dramatic zoom, the bus driver realizes what's happening. Jack jumps from the hijacked car onto the bus and sends the driver of the car swerving off and smashing into the off-ramp water barrels.
Are you insured? Yeah, why?
That's so fucked up. Hey, I'm stealing your car and wrecking it. With you in it.
But I'm keeping your cell phone. So Jack contacts Harry with the stolen cell phone, catches him up on what's going on, and sends Harry down the path to try to figure out who this bomber is so we can stop this.
Harry, do my bitch work.
Who's desk-bound because he got shot in the fucking knee by Jack, so now he's working from the office. He's the intelligence guy here. Jack gets on the bus.
I'm Jack Traven, LAPD. We have a slight situation on the bus here.
Sandra Bullock's character, Annie, she's like speaking up. Yo, what is going on? You're crazy. You're scaring everybody on the bus. And there's a guy on the bus with a gun. He thinks Jack's after him, and he gets up, and they kind of wrestle. The gun goes off, and it hits the bus driver. And Annie has to drive the bus.
Miss, can you handle this bus?
Oh, sure. It's just like driving a really big Pinto.
Just make Sandra Bullock's character the fucking bus driver.
It would change literally nothing if she was just the bus driver. But, okay, I get why, because it has to elevate a normal human into extraordinary circumstances, and it gives us the extra drama of the bus driver. My issue with the whole bomb on the bus scenario, I ride the bus a lot here in Los Angeles.
Right.
I've never been on a bus that's gone over 35 miles an hour.
I was literally, I literally had the same thought. I was like, come on. Also, wait a minute, this is happening in the middle of the day, right?
Oh, yeah. This is
morning.
Yeah.
So there's no way anybody got above 50 miles an hour.
Fuck no. Absolutely not. You're hitting traffic so quick, nobody's going anywhere. Now, Jack's trying to access the bomb through the panel on the floor of the bus, but before he can get too far, the bus comes up on traffic on the highway.
Of course they are.
And Annie says,
Officer! What do I do? Which way? Which way?
Get on the shoulder.
Stay on or get off. Stay on or get off.
Up.
So she has to take an off-ramp
at 50 miles an hour.
All of LAPD is now on the case, but they can't clear these streets, apparently. Annie with the bus is driving over 50 miles an hour, plowing through people and red lights and just crushing cones and shit. This bus takes an incredible amount of damage. There's no way this bus is actually staying above 50 miles an hour.
No.
The LAPD comes in like, we're going to get you on this highway that's under construction, which was the 105.
A few more blocks. You're gonna come up to a soft turn. They're gonna lead you to the 105 freeway. It's gonna be a real ugly turn though.
So what they have to do, they have to all sit on one side of the bus as the bus turns at 50 miles an hour to get on the highway.
It's gonna tip over. Oh my God, it is gonna tip over.
Here we go!
So the bus tips onto two wheels. The turn is successful, and they're on the 105. They have the police escort. We have a second to breathe, and we get the most annoying part of this movie, at least for me, because it's the whole forced romance thing between Jack and Annie, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And it just feels so unnatural. On top of that, we get a little bit of Keanu Reeves really trying to act here.
Ma'am, you did very well. Actually, you were incredible. I've never seen driving like that.
Annie. It's my name, Annie. As opposed to ma'am.
Okay.
He's giving it his best shot.
I mean, he plays the exact same person every single time.
So the whole thing is with Dennis Hopper, nobody's allowed to get off the bus or he will blow it up.
Right.
News choppers are watching so he can see everything that's going on. So he gets a hold of the bomber.
I think we have trust. But it looks on TV like you're trying to get those passengers off the bus.
We have an injured man here. The driver's been shot.
No one gets off.
It'll grease the wheels with the money men if you show a little charity.
Okay, son. You can try and unload the driver.
The driver's name is Sam. So they help Sam get off the bus. He's with the LAPD. And a really twitchy woman on the bus. They kind of reach to her after Sam gets off, and she takes a step out and reaches towards them. The bomber sees this.
Yes.
And he blows a bomb. She falls under the bus and she's dead.
Which I gotta say, why does he already have that bomb on there?
Thank you. Baby bomb that just blows the walkway, I guess.
Wouldn't that also inherently blow up the big
other
one?
bomb? Yeah. But what I do like about it, it does set up that there are things at stake. People do die. So as they continue on, people are freaking out and, upset, obviously. The police, in all their infinite wisdom, had sent them on the 105. Well, now they got a phone call. Do you know what that phone call says?
What's that phone call say, Blake?
That phone call tells them,
we have a serious problem. This freeway isn't finished. There's a section missing.
But it's on the map. It's finished on the goddamn map.
I guess they fell behind.
Guess what, Dave? Guess what they have to do?
What?
They have to jump this fucking
thing.
They
have to jump this fucking thing.
They have to jump it.
Everybody hold on!
reverse. And they fucking land the bus on the other side, and they're fine.
No. Okay, they don't. How does the front of the bus go up when the two sections are level?
The effects in this movie are good. In
Yeah,
general,
oh yeah.
There's some great miniatures in this, too.
Oh, wait, there's miniatures in this?
Oh, yeah, buddy. Oh, we're going to get into that towards the end. So after the bus takes this jump and it lands it, our tourist guy on the bus, played by Alan Ruck,
Right.
he has a great line because they roll into the airport.
We're at the airport.
Yeah, so?
I already seen the airport.
So the line was so good.
The whole idea is like news copters have to back off because they're in the airport. So they're just circling around the runway at LAX. From there, they're able to kind of buy themselves some time. So Jack convinces the bomber that he's got to get off the bus and get his money in order.
You have to let me off. You want me to help you? I need to talk to these people face to face. They think you're bullshit.
They don't think that.
Look, you want the money. I don't want anyone else to die. Let me get on the ground.
All right, I want you back real fast.
So he gets off the bus, and they put him on a little red wagon. And they roll him under the bus, and he's going to defuse the bomb.
But he's not.
Well, this time Jack kind of has his tools, and he has his bomb vest on. He has all the things he needs.
Okay, that's fair.
And Jack's now under the bus with Harry in his ear, talking him through this super complicated bomb, which they come to the conclusion that they cannot defuse.
Right.
But luckily, right now, while they're on the phone, very conveniently, they figure out who the bomber is.
Howard Payne, Atlanta PD Bomb Squad.
That's our scumbag! Jack, I want you to get out of there and sit tight. We're gonna go after the source.
But before Jack can get out of there, something goes wrong.
Of course it does.
The bus has taken so much damage
Right.
that debris is flying, and it catches the little wagon he's on, and he's clinging to the bottom of the bus for dear life. And I love this part because when Jack originally started the movie, he was there to save everybody on the bus.
Right.
And now everybody on the bus has to come together to pull him up through the access panel and save him. I thought that was kind of cool.
What I didn't appreciate was the unnecessary and utterly irrelevant puncture of the gas tank.
Mac, can you get a fuel truck to pace us here? We're losing gas.
I'll see what I can find.
They just never came back to it.
I didn't even include it on my recap thing because it literally goes fucking nowhere. It is inconsequential. They blew a tire going to the airport, which that kind of pays off a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
So with Jack on the bus, having been saved by the passengers, Harry and his team, they all go to Howard Payne's house to capture their villain.
Yeah, but he's got other plans.
Yes, Harry and his team realize all too late that Howard has the upper hand. The whole house is rigged to explode.
Of course it is.
And it does, raining down meat piles, raining down bits of Harry and his fellow officers onto the streets of LA.
Oh my god.
That's fucked up, I know, but
yeah.
That's what it feels like to Jack, who has to hear this from Howard himself.
Yeah, that's fair.
Harry, tell me good news, man.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jack. He didn't make it.
I'm gonna rip your fucking spine out, I swear to God.
You're gonna do exactly as you're told.
Okay. I'm
Harry's
hijacking this for 2 minutes.
Do it.
I have a theory. So Speed came out in 1994. Do you know what movie came out in December of 1994?
No, what movie?
Dumb and Dumber. You know who was also in Dumb and Dumber? Do you know who was also in Dumb and Dumber?
Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Daniels. Do you know what Jeff Daniels' character in Dumb and Dumber's name was?
Harry.
Harry! So here's what happened. All right, hear me out.
Okay.
Harry did not die in that house bomb.
Okay.
He got out, but was so traumatized that he just reverted into like an idiot, right? Like an absolute just base level version of himself, and fucking takes off and meets his new best friend Lloyd.
This is a great theory.
And then goes on adventures.
I see literally no flaws in it.
That's because it's a flawless fucking theory.
This is getting deep, dude. The lore of this thing is just far reaching. So people say Keanu Reeves does not age, right? He does not look like he ages.
Right.
Sandra Bullock does not look like she ages. Where's the common theme here? Where does it start? Speed. So Jack freaks out. He's like dooming hardcore. But he gets on the phone with Howard again, who says,
You can't beat me. You're going to pay me every dollar. Otherwise, you, the Wildcat, and every innocent person on that bus are going to end up just like your friend.
So after this conversation, Jack realizes that Howard is watching them via a camera rigged on the bus.
Mm-hmm.
So it's crazy because it's stupid.
It's very stupid.
We get to see the camera feed from Howard's point of view, and it's like really super low res video footage. There's no way in hell he sees this little tiny logo on Annie's sweatshirt behind her.
No.
Calls her Wildcat, whatever. None of the technical aspects of this whole thing makes sense. Jack comes up with this plan with his boss. Somehow, I don't know how, it's never actually explained. They get a hold of one of the news vans that's there at LAX. The news van hijacks the signal, tapes Jack and all the passengers on the bus staying very still, and then loops that tape and plays it back to Howard's feed. How this happens, never explained.
Well, maybe they thought like, oh, well, I bet you it could happen in the future. Which leads me to believe that in our future, Rocket Fear was going to happen.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, no. Okay, well. So anyway, this plan works. Howard happens to be in the pisser when they start looping the tape. So while this whole thing is being looped, they start pulling people off the bus, but Jack and Annie. Annie's still driving the bus, but the tire blows. They lay down on this platform and they slide out from under this bus, and the music swells and they're safe.
It's over, Annie. You did it. Oh, I hate the airport. You're not gonna get mushy on me, are you?
Maybe.
Hope not, because, relationships that start under intense circumstances, they never last.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I've done extensive studying on this.
Like, you might as well just fuck right here.
Well, that's later. The bus gets its own arc. The bus starts as this lowly public transportation vehicle and ends in a big explosion. A big furious explosion. When it collides with the plane, it takes off on its own. It becomes sentient.
Sentient.
And as soon as it becomes sentient, it realizes it wants to die. So it steers itself through a hangar and collides with a plane that's being taxied out. It's a big action explosion ending for the bus, and the guy steering the plane thing, he's fine, but he gets out and we hear him.
I have to say, this is where the movie should have ended.
This is where the movie originally ended, but executives at the time were like, no, this cannot be just a bus movie. We have to include many other forms of transportation. We blew up a plane, we blew up a bus, train time. This is where this shit goes off the rails.
Oh, he did it.
Prescient pun.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I did it.
Blake did a pun.
They realize that Howard, our bomber, is still seeing the loop tape. So for all he knows, nothing has exploded. Everybody's still in the bus. So they decide, hey, we're going to trick Howard and we're going to capture him.
Now you tell them that the drop point is Pershing Square. There's a garbage can in the northeast corner. You drop the bags and leave.
Which is great, except it doesn't make sense. It cuts from the airport to downtown. And somehow, poor Annie is there, just on the street. There's snipers and shit all pointed at this thing. They have this whole sting operation set up within 20 minutes, and Annie's just there walking around.
I feel like we need to explain how improbable it is to just be in downtown LA from LAX. To the people who either haven't been to LA or have never lived here or whatever. Mm-hmm. That's a really long drive.
Right. Even in movie logic, if these two events occurred next door to each other, why would one victim from a bus hijacking still be around when a major raid is going on? Not just around, but on the street within talking distance of this thing.
Right.
Poor Annie. Let her go home.
Let the bitch go home.
Let her go home. Take her to the hospital.
Let the fine woman go home. I apologize. She's not a bitch. I don't know why I said that.
But Howard does realize this. He realizes the trick they pulled on him.
No!
He has his old cop uniform, and he puts it on. And he hits the street in downtown LA where he comes upon Annie wandering around outside of an ambulance.
Miss, you can't be this close. You need to move back.
Oh, no, Jack Travin's...
Jack Travin, yes, he asked that you be brought out of harm's way. Just move right over here.
We don't see this, but he abducts her, he gets his money, straps a bomb vest to her, and takes her into the subway, all without being seen, even though there's
Just
500 cops with sniper rifles.
not a
and, like,
single one.
Not a single one sees him. They realize the money is moving, and Jack's like, oh shit. So he goes off and he goes into the subway where he pulls a gun on who he thinks is Howard, but that person turns around and it is actually Annie strapped to a bomb vest. And
Because he just happens to have another bomb vest?
He just happens to have all these things just in case, I guess.
Freeze! Pop quiz, asshole. You have a hair trigger aimed at your head. What do? Turn around!
Before they take off, Jack calls Howard crazy, and Howard has this really, really great line.
You're fucking crazy.
Oh, no. Poor people are crazy, Jack. I'm eccentric.
Oh my God. All right, Jeff Bezos.
Beautiful line. I loved it.
Elon.
He's such a villain, and he's so fucking charismatic. Howard overtakes the subway car. Like, his whole thing is he's going to take Annie with him. He has a dead man switch in his hand that's attached to the bomb. So if he lets go of that switch in his hand, her vest explodes. Mm-hmm. So his whole thing is he's going to take the train, hop up into the streets, blow Annie up into a million little pieces. He'll be far away by then. They're going to be under so much chaos, he's going to escape. That's his whole plan. So Jack, he follows them, and he is able to force himself onto the train, and he's climbing on top. But Howard somehow hears somebody on top.
Hey, Jack, is that you? He's so persistent, he always gets his man.
They start fighting. The dye pack in the money that he took goes off, and so he's pissed. His money's fucking ruined. He's losing his mind, and he goes to take out Jack himself. Hand-to-hand combat. This is like late 50s Dennis Hopper versus like 26-year-old Keanu Reeves. So they're on top of the train. They're wrestling around. Keanu Reeves loses his gun. They're fighting. Keanu Reeves gets the dead man switch away from him, has it in his hand, and subsequently, Jack realizes there's the light on top of the subway tunnel. Mm-hmm. He pushes Howard up off of him, and Howard is decapitated. And it looks great.
It does look really cool.
It looks really, it's fucking intense to see it. You see his head snap. It's great.
So Blake, tell our listeners what Jack says at this point.
Oh, Jack has a great comeback line.
I'm smarter than you. Yeah? Well, I'm taller.
What?
But I'm taller.
I don't really get it.
So Blake, this is the end of the movie, right?
We are getting... No, this isn't the end. The villain is dead. You're right. But we're not over yet. This is an action movie, yeah? We get our big action ending, Dave, because not only is that train rocketing down the tracks, it can't be stopped. Jack looks at the map and he sees an under construction part of this train tunnel. And his idea is to speed the train up and have it jump the tracks.
Based on what you said about how this was tacked on at the end and they just wanted more scenes, it feels like they didn't feel like writing anything else.
This is where the unfinished infrastructure of Los Angeles plays a key role in this movie again. So the train is careening out of control, and it does, in fact, jump the track. And it takes off into the unfinished section of the subway. And it goes cruising through, and it's breaking up all this stuff. These are miniatures. The miniatures look great.
Those do look great.
They look really fucking good. I did not know they were miniatures, but look great. So in the most efficient ending of an action movie I've seen in a long time, the train bursts through the under construction thing onto Hollywood Boulevard, skids to a stop in front of the Chinese theater. Jack and Annie kiss. Roll credits. Literally, the movie ended and I clapped. I'm alone in my apartment and I clapped. And I was like, thank you for that efficiency, because I am sick of overwrought endings and epilogues and post-credit scenes and stuff in movies. It just ended, and I appreciated that.
It feels like we should just jump right into the next segment then.
Let's duke this out. We're moving on.
Movie versus movie. Welcome to the Thunderdome. This place fucking rules.
This is the battle segment, but I already feel defeated. It's been a long one.
We can't let this devolve into total chaos, though.
No, we did come up with 5 things that we agreed on before we watched these movies that we think make a great action movie.
Yeah, lay them out.
So the first one we agreed on was convincing conflict.
Or, for the layman, do y'all really want to kill each other?
Also, a good action movie has to have high stakes.
Or, is this shit life or death?
Action movies typically have a rugged main character.
These people tough.
Is this movie going quick? Does it have fast pacing?
Does this shit keep moving?
And finally, do we get a good, satisfying resolution?
It's honestly, do the good guys win?
You have a lot to explain for yourself choosing F9 here.
Do I?
You fucking do.
I think you just didn't get it. That's what I think.
Well, I guess we're going to find out here, because you're going to go first,
That's
and
fine.
you have to tell me why F9 has convincing conflict.
Absolutely. So the heroes in this movie, since you so aptly described it as a superhero movie, have equally skilled enemies. Okay? And if the heroes are badasses and the villains are badasses, that makes sense. Okay? It's convincing because it's equally paired up. All right?
Listen, I'm not convinced of anything in this movie. Nothing feels real. Nothing feels tangible in any way that I think lets me attach to it in any emotional way. I don't care. Whereas Speed, it is so intense. It's minds going at it through action.
Okay, but the thing is, it's a cop it's a retired cop from not LA attacking LA cops.
It's not like he drove in from Atlanta just to plant this bomb. Yeah, probably right after he retired 10 years beforehand.
It doesn't matter when he moved. He's trying to get something that's owed, quote unquote, to him from people who don't owe it to him.
But the conflict isn't between Howard and the police. It becomes between Howard and Jack,
who is a police officer.
I don't think that's the point of any of this. I think you are arguing off something that has nothing to do with anything.
You said convincing conflict. You can't really convince me that a dude from fucking whatever it was, Mississippi or something, he served a different state.
He doesn't have a beef with LA. He just wants his money, man. And then the conflict isn't with the cops. The conflict is with Jack, because Jack fucked up his elevator heist.
Because he's a cop.
Oh my God. At the end of the day, people's lives are at stake. We're talking about the high stakes of Speed, because people are going to die. Buses will be blown up. Bystanding people will have to leap out of harm's way. There's a lot of things going on in Speed.
But they are not as high as trying to save the literal world.
Maybe not literally as high because of, fucking space and all.
Okay, but still, I think saving the world is more important than saving a single bus full of people. Just saying.
So, fuck the people on the bus as long as the outer space satellite is taken out.
Listen, if the people on the bus survive and the satellite in space doesn't get taken out, they are still fucked.
To me, I think with Speed, we're sitting with these people on the bus. We're seeing their fear and their anxiety and everything. They don't know if they're going to live or they're going to die, and that is palpable.
Okay.
With the characters in F9, they're going to live. They're going to be fine.
Okay, but that doesn't matter. We're still trying to talk about saving the world.
The point is, if I'm not invested emotionally, the stakes could be the universe exploding, but if I don't care...
Just because you missed 6 movies... does not mean that these stakes are not high, because they are.
Okay.
All right? And another thing that F9 has over Speed is a rugged main character, okay? Because please, Dominic Toretto beat a man half to death with a wrench as a teenager, okay? He fought John Cena using his body as a demolition tool, as you so aptly put it. He, on multiple occasions, catches people with his car, okay? He swings it across a rope bridge, all right? That's fucking rugged, bro. Could you do any of that?
Not only can Jack jump from buses and do all those manly things that Dominic Toretto can, he has the ruggedness to not only crash a bus and explode it while saving everybody on it, but also take over a train and crash that while saving everybody on it and getting the girl at the end. Jack is perfect for his movie. Dominic is
perfect for his movie.
Insane, and I think deeply flawed.
Okay, and as F9 is both things.
Perfect. I thought you almost admitted defeat, but...
No, absolutely not. I will not.
No, that's fair. Because you're taking forever to make these really stupid-ass arguments. We're going to move into my next point. Speed is a fast-paced movie.
No, it's not.
It starts with action and just keeps getting more and more and more, bringing us along until we hit our climax.
First, it's the elevator, which takes forever to happen. Okay.
No, it
then
definitely
eventually it's the bus. Okay.
Which is awesome.
Which neither here nor there. Then it's the train. Okay. Pick your shit and go.
But
the pacing for the Fast and Furious is exactly that. It's fast and furious. All right. Not only that, the resolution could not be more satisfying. Okay? Everyone survives, all right? The good guys went to space, they foiled the evil plan, and now they're having a cookout with Coronas. I want to have a cookout with Coronas right now. That sounds super satisfying, okay?
Okay, a cookout sounds satisfying, but what's more satisfying than crashing a train onto Hollywood Boulevard? Jack gets to kiss Annie, and the credits just roll, man. It's not only satisfying, it's efficient.
Okay,
and I am so satisfied, I don't have to worry about anything else.
It's the second ending you've got, and F9 has one.
I disagree.
It's people with a cookout. Also, what's more satisfying than crashing a train through Hollywood Boulevard? A cookout. And a beer. Both of those sound much more appetizing. Can we have a cookout with a beer is what I'm asking.
Is that an actual... Can we actually have a cookout?
Seriously, I looked it up, please.
Oh, geez. Okay, well, let's just get to the finish line, because I want to cook out now.
Yeah.
I need some
See?
Coronas.
It's in your head now.
Fuck.
Hey, look, we did it. It's the finish line.
We're at the finish line.
Can I go home yet?
Alright.
All right, Dave. I wear this one on my sleeve.
Yeah.
My choice for first prize film is 1994's Speed. Pre-OJ.
Pre-OJ.
Speed.
Listen, you know how I feel. You know.
I know you love the Fast Saga.
You cannot find a better ridiculous action film. That being said, I'm picking Speed, dude.
No.
I'm doing it.
What?
I'm picking Speed.
Oh my God, we have a winner.
Because fucking Fast 9 stressed me the fuck out, dude. It stressed me out so hard, and Speed made me laugh. Like, they were both dumb.
Sure.
Like, thinking about it.
Yeah.
But Speed, no way, dude. Speed was like, nah, that was fun. F9, I couldn't watch the second time all the way through.
Really?
I had to pause it and come back another day later.
Wow.
Because I was like, there's too much shit going on here, man. There's just too much shit here going on.
So we have an official winner for the episode, yeah?
Yes, Speed is our official winner, and I am tired as fuck.
We've been at this all fucking day.
All one of our episodes.
It's broken us completely.
Horribly.
Yeah, so thanks for tuning in to the last episode.
Hey, First Prize listeners, thanks for tuning in this week. If you liked today's episode, if you enjoyed hanging out with us and listening to us bicker like an old married couple, please consider subscribing to our socials. It's at First Prize Pod, and we're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter. Also, don't forget to check out our website as well at firstprizefilms.com.
Yeah, we do this for free because we're dumbasses, but if you'd like to support us, consider rating and reviewing us on Apple Podcasts or even just telling your friends.
Yeah, and we'll see you next week when we'll be talking about post-apocalypse movies.
We're going to talk about I Am Legend 2007 versus Escape from LA 1996.
It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
See ya!
Bye ya!
I feel like I owe you after F9.
You fucking do owe me.